weeks ago, a friend of mine asked me to come up with a turkey-based shepherd's pie recipe. So this is going to be my take on that. I'm going to start by heating a large skillet over medium-high heat with a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Once my oil is hot, I'm going to add a small yellow onion and 5 cloves of garlic. Of course, season them with a little salt and pepper. After a couple of minutes, I'm going to add 2 carrots and 1 parsnip that I've chopped into about 1/4-inch pieces. Hit them with a little bit of salt and pepper, and I want to allow these to get a little bit of color on them. And once the carrots and parsnips have had a few minutes, I'm going to clear a spot in the middle here and add 5 chopped up crimini mushrooms, and of course a little bit of salt and pepper for them. After 3 or 4 minutes, the mushrooms will really break down, let out a lot of their liquid. I'm going to add about 1 pound of ground turkey and about 1 pound of boneless chicken breast that I've chopped up into very small pieces. I know I said this was going to be turkey shepherd's pie, but I really like the combination of textures between the ground meat and the chunks of chicken. Make sure the meat gets some salt and pepper. Once the meat's cooked through at the very last minute, I'm going to add about 1 cup of frozen peas. Just stir them through to warm them, and then transfer everything to a large casserole dish. The next component is going to be the gravy. I'm going to start in a saucepan with about 4 tablespoons of butter. And this is over medium heat. Once the butter's melted, I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of flour and whisk it together. After a few minutes, it's time to start adding stock. I'm using chicken stock. You could use turkey stock, vegetable stock, whatever you like. Ultimately, we're going to end up adding about 2 cups of stock. Once you get all the stock mixed in, your gravy is going to look pretty liquidy, and that's okay. It's going to thicken. Although it's time to season it now. A little bit of salt, pepper, about 1 teaspoon of dry sage, a teaspoon of dry thyme, just a dash of allspice, a little grating of nutmeg, about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and a bay leaf. We just want to get all the spices and seasonings mixed in well. Once it's come to a pretty even bubble, I'm just going to reduce the heat to low and let it sit here and thicken. I'm going to stir it occasionally. And of course, the final component is the mashed potatoes. I'm using instant mashed potatoes. Some may be horrified by that, but it's just faster for me. I am making these potatoes according to directions for 8 servings. I'm also adding the same amount of garlic powder as I did salt. Finally, we're ready for assembly. I have my meat and vegetable mixture here. I'm going to take the gravy and just pour it over the whole thing. Of course, watch out for that bay leaf. I want to get that out of there. I just want to give that a little bit of a mix to make sure the gravy gets all the way in there. Then we want to add the mashed potatoes on top. And try to smooth them all the way to the edges to make a nice seal with the edge of the casserole dish. Now, when my mom made shepherd's pie, she always sprinkled a little Parmesan cheese on top. I don't have any on hand, but I do have a little bit of cheddar. So I'm just going to take a cue from her and sprinkle a little bit of this on the top. I've preheated the oven to 400 degrees, and this is going to go straight in there for about half an hour. The top is nice and brown, that's what we're looking for. Now this is steaming hot. I'm going to let this rest at least 15 minutes, if not more, before digging into it. There you have it. Turkey and chicken shepherd's pie. Hope you get a chance to try it. We'll see you next time.